The universe is vast and mysterious. We often find ourselves contemplating our place within its grand expanse. In the tapestry of existence, one question echoes through the corridors of philosophical thought. What does it mean to be? This profound question has captivated thinkers for centuries, and Martin Heidegger, a prominent 20th century philosopher, dared to confront it head-on in his seminal work Being and Time. Heidegger's philosophical inquiry delves into the very essence of existence, urging us to move beyond superficial interpretations and confront the ontological mystery that lies at the heart of human experience. Heidegger's approach to this question diverges from traditional metaphysical inquiries. He challenges the prevailing philosophical paradigms that attempt to define being as a static, objective entity. Instead, Heidegger suggests that the meaning of being is inextricably linked to our existence. We cannot grasp the essence of being by detaching ourselves from the world and contemplating it as an abstract concept. Rather, we must turn our attention to our lived experiences, to the way in which we inhabit and interact with the world around us. This is where Heidegger introduces the concept of Dasein, a term that lies at the heart of his philosophical project. Dasein, often translated as being there, refers to the unique mode of being that characterizes human existence. It highlights our inherent situatedness within the world, our constant interaction with and interpretation of our surroundings. Unlike inanimate objects or even other living beings, Dasein possesses a unique capacity for self-awareness, for reflecting upon its own existence and questioning its own being. This self-reflective quality is central to understanding Heidegger's approach to the question of being. For Heidegger, the question of being is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a question that arises from within our very existence, a question that we grapple with as we navigate the complexities of life. By examining Dasein, its relationship to time and its various modes of existence, Heidegger unravels the intricate tapestry of human being and offers a profound meditation on what it means to truly exist. His work continues to resonate with contemporary thought, prompting us to confront the existential questions that define our place in the cosmos. To truly grasp the essence of being, Heidegger argues that we must turn our attention to Dasein, the unique mode of being that characterizes human existence. Dasein is not simply another entity in the world like a rock or a tree. It is the entity for whom being is an issue. Dasein is defined by its capacity for questioning, its ability to step back from the world and inquire into its own existence and the meaning of being itself. This self-reflective quality is what sets Dasein apart from all other beings. Heidegger uses the term being in the world to describe Dasein's fundamental state of existence. Dasein is not a detached observer of the world, but is always already immersed in it. We are constantly engaged in a web of relationships with other entities, both human and non-human, and these relationships shape our understanding of ourselves and the world. This being in the world is not a static state, but a dynamic process of engagement and interpretation. Central to Dasein's being in the world is its practical engagement with the world through tools and equipment. Heidegger emphasizes that we do not encounter the world as a collection of neutral objects, but as things ready to hand. A hammer, for instance, is not merely an object with certain properties, but a tool that is intrinsically linked to its purpose of hammering. We understand the hammer in terms of its practical use, its ability to help us achieve certain ends. This practical, ready-to-hand mode of engagement reveals a fundamental aspect of Dasein. Its being in the world is always directed towards a future possibility. Dasein is constantly projecting itself forward, anticipating possibilities and striving towards them. This future-oriented nature of Dasein is inextricably linked to its temporality, which Heidegger identifies as a fundamental dimension of being. Time, for Heidegger, is not merely a linear progression of moments, but the very horizon within which Dasein exists and understands itself. Heidegger argues that our understanding of time is not derived from an objective, external source, but is fundamentally shaped by our own existence as Dasein. We do not simply exist in time, rather, time is an essential dimension of our being. Heidegger introduces the concept of temporality to describe the unique way in which Dasein experiences time. Temporality encompasses three interconnected dimensions: past, present, and future. However, these dimensions are not separate compartments, but are interwoven in a complex interplay that shapes our experience of being. The past, for Heidegger, is not simply a collection of past events that are gone forever. Rather, the past continues to shape our present experience in profound ways. Heidegger uses the term thrownness, Geworfenheit, to describe the way in which we are thrown into the world with a pre-existing set of circumstances, inherited traditions, and cultural norms. We are born into a world that has already been shaped by the past, and this past continues to influence our understanding of ourselves and the world. The present, for Heidegger, is not a fleeting moment caught between the past and the future, but the site of Dasein's active engagement with the world. The present is where we make choices, take action, and create meaning. However, the present is not isolated from the past or the future. Our present actions are always informed by our understanding of the past and our anticipation of the future. The future, in Heidegger's view, is not simply a continuation of the present, but the horizon towards which Dasein is constantly projecting itself. Dasein is always oriented towards possibilities, towards what it can become. This future-oriented nature of Dasein is essential to understanding its existential nature. We are not simply beings who exist, we are beings who are always in the process of becoming. Heidegger's analysis of Dasein reveals that human existence is characterized by a fundamental tension between two modes of being: authenticity and inauthenticity. These modes of being are not fixed states, but rather possibilities that are always open to Dasein. They represent different ways in which we can relate to our own existence and the world around us. Inauthenticity for Heidegger arises when Dasein falls prey to the pressures of the they, das Man. The they is the impersonal, anonymous force of social conformity, the pressure to conform to societal expectations and norms. When we live inauthentically, we allow the they to dictate our choices, our values, and our understanding of ourselves. We become absorbed in the everyday concerns of the world, losing sight of our own unique individuality and the question of our own being. Authenticity, on the other hand, emerges when Dasein confronts its own finitude, its own mortality. This confrontation with death is not a morbid obsession, but rather a source of profound freedom. When we recognize our own finitude, we are liberated from the trivial concerns that often consume our lives. We are free to live in the present moment, to embrace our own unique possibilities, and to create a meaningful existence. Authenticity is not a destination that we arrive at once and for all. It is an ongoing task, a constant striving to live in accordance with our own unique understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. It requires courage to resist the pressures of the they, and to embrace the uncertainty and anxiety that come with authentic existence. Heidegger's distinction between authenticity and inauthenticity is not a moral judgment, but rather a call to awareness. He invites us to reflect upon our own lives and to ask ourselves whether we are living authentically or whether we have allowed the they to dictate the course of our existence. By confronting the question of our own being, we open ourselves up to the possibility of living a more meaningful and fulfilling life.